Hello and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. A brief discussion of Ripple and XRP will conclude this video. However, I do want to highlight the Fed's current situation and the events taking place behind the scenes. There seems to be a larger pattern at work. In light of SVB demise, requests have flooded into JP Morgan and Citigroup. In the wake of Silicon Valley Bank's failure, many high-ranking executives have reported the largest deposit outflow in a decade. Customers are requesting transfers of funds from smaller lenders in unprecedented numbers to the nation's largest banks. J.P. Morgan. In order to meet the needs of customers who want to make immediate purchases, large financial institutions like Chase and Citigroup are working to speed up the standard onboarding process. The trend of increased deposits being transferred from SVB and other local lenders to major banks on Monday, March 13th, continued from the previous week. It seems like a consolidation is taking place, but I have my doubts about the security of the larger financial institutions. Take a moment to consider. If cryptocurrency was to blame for SVB decline, then JP Morgan and other major financial institutions also have substantial cryptocurrency exposure. But not only are banks merging, but the cryptocurrency industry is also expected to see some level of consolidation in the near future. Consider this. What is expected to happen when rules are finally implemented? We'll be left with a few cryptos after nearly all others have vanished. It's the same story in the banking industry. There is no way out for the Fed. The question is, where will they go? Raise interest rates while bank failures persist? Or the Federal Reserve's U-turn to save the bank's books? There is a rise in inflation. I anticipate a policy shift from the Fed. Unlike previous times, I don't expect a rate increase this time. However, despite their claims that inflation is decreasing, this will likely lead to an increase in prices in the near future. The US inflation rate is predicted to drop to 6% in February, but we don't seem to be experiencing that, do we? Basically, if you go to the grocery store, you'll find that the prices are higher than they've ever been. The gas you buy now will cost you more than it ever has. And I think they are fudging the numbers a bit. Everything looks better than it is because of them. Representative Warren has requested that Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell step aside from any investigation into the collapse of the Silicon Valley banks. Just as expected, she appears. And you could predict that she would eventually become involved. Elizabeth Warren, a senator from Massachusetts, called on Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell to step aside from the Fed's investigation into the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. According to Warren, large banks like Silicon Valley Bank were able to increase their profits by taking on more risk under Powell's watch. There's some sort of crypto discussion going on here. After federal regulators took over SVB on Monday, the Fed released a summary of their supervision and regulation of the bank on Monday. In my opinion, she is now fully committed to the world of crypto. She plans to use SVB as yet another reason to justify new rules. There's been a problem for quite some time. No more duct tape can be purchased. In spite of high-profile bank failures that have shook the financial system, the markets still anticipate the Fed will maintain its efforts to combat inflation. Monday's trading implied an 85% chance that the Federal Open Market Committee will raise interest rates by 0.25% at its March 21-22 meeting. When asked whether or not the central bank will raise interest rates next week, Goldman Sachs was virtually alone in its prediction that it would not. Either he will raise interest rates and cause the collapse of these banks, or he will change course and allow inflation to rise. This situation is bad for us either way. No matter what the Fed does, they will still lose. Even now, I can't shake the feeling that, when regulations finally do arrive, they'll try to regulate you and me out of crypto by citing SVB and the collapse of FTX. At some point in the not-too-distant future, it will be required that crypto investors have at least $200,000 in liquid assets. As much as it pains me to say it, I really hope that doesn't occur. But there's an odd vibe about the whole thing. Now, since being woke is synonymous with broke, we also know that SVB was, in fact, woke. The fact that banks are sitting on $600 billion in potential MBS and other bond losses is mind-boggling. 20 banks, including SVB, are sitting on enormous potential securities losses. How could they have possibly failed to hedge when the Fed signaled 75 basis point hikes in rates? Multiple other financial institutions are now on the same list. That's why I warn that a domino effect could cause some of those banks to fail if he raises interest rates. Lol. And there it is. Look at Elizabeth Warren putting the blame for SVB use of cryptography squarely on the shoulders of the industry. It's understandable that the American public is skeptical of a system that leaves millions of struggling borrowers of student loans in limbo while acting swiftly to protect the diamond deposits of crypto firms worth billions of dollars. I want to share something with you. This is just the beginning of a never-ending stream of crypto-related issues. As far as I can tell, they're planning to attack crypto. There's a good chance they want to annex it. They plan to block you and me from using cryptography. I can almost guarantee that signature was turned off specifically so that Warren could compose this sentence. It's sickening how much dishonesty there is in politics. Signature whipped up a clientele name tilted towards high-risk cryptocurrency firms by promoting the bank's Ftx insurance. As crypto investors, we all know that crypto is not bad, so I really wish you would just stop dealing with it altogether. People who have ties to crypto, like those at that SVB bank. Sam Bankman-Criminal fraud's background is common knowledge as well. As a result, FTX went down. Nothing in there had anything to do with the cryptocurrencies we hold or study. Even now, XRP and Ripple are expanding and growing. Other ISO coins are experiencing similar levels of growth and development. More and more networks are beginning to investigate Telegram conversations as their user bases expand. The United States of America is an excellent location for the development of cryptographic technologies. Manhattan prosecutors in the United States are investigating whether or not market manipulation occurred as a result of communications on the messaging app Telegram between employees at Jump's defunct FTX affiliate Alameda Research and the company's Jane Street office in May. They are trying to figure out how to keep the FTX train rolling. They plan on employing that storyline. The same thing will happen with SVB, and when another bank fails, it will be connected to cryptocurrency in some way. But rules are on the horizon, and I get the impression that they are being held off until the perfect moment. I think the rules they want to implement are already on paper. My guess is that they were documented a long time ago and are connected to the World Economic Forum and global warming. Since I haven't talked about the Great Reset in a while, I think it's time to make a video about it. However, that results from all of this as well. Attorney Johnny Deaton has stated that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission case against Ripple could reach the United States Supreme Court before Congress creates a regulatory framework for the cryptocurrency industry. You can bet on it too, because everyone talks about how urgent everything is, but then nothing gets done. Although Elizabeth Warren has been vocal about the dangers of cryptocurrency and its links to drug traffickers and other illegal activities for nearly 2 years, no concrete action has been taken. And the solution she did arrive at was simply another method of taxing people like me and you. When we finally make a cryptocurrency withdrawal, she'll start asking about our cold storage holdings. SEC versus Ripple. Here is what, in John Deaton's opinion, will occur if the SEC is victorious. He has come to the same conclusion. If the SEC prevails in its lawsuit against Ripple, look out. I predict that the cryptocurrency industry will be set back at least 2 to 5 years. I think Gary still sees a very easy win with Ethereum, so that's where they'll start. Eventually, though, they'll move on to other crypto companies. Likewise, we can expect shakeups to persist. People are merely paying off the SEC so that they can proceed with their plans. But I think they are trying to force the best chance the U.S. has right now out of the country. It would be tragic for the United States, not for Ripple, if the company decided to relocate outside of the country. When it comes to expanding their businesses into new markets, Ripple provides a cutting-edge solution that treasury managers can use. XRP can be used by corporate treasury departments to better plan cash flow, reduce operational costs, improve commercial terms, and even assist suppliers. Accounts receivable financing. Treasury managers can now affordably meet business needs and enter new markets thanks to crypto's cutting-edge solution. Moreover, do you know what's so great about Ripple's technology? That's why it doesn't try to compete with financial institutions. It's not going to be challenged by anything the CBDCs bring out. This is not a field in which XRP excels. Also, RippleNet doesn't care about it. Adding this only improves the experience. As a result, the system operates more smoothly. In spite of this, they are actively working to stifle the development. They are actively working to transfer control to a different nation. The US. Michael Esper, a former advisor at Ripple and now a Fed vice chair, will head up an investigation into how well the Fed is supervising Silicon Valley Bank. How often do you really think about things? If a disaster occurred in the past or the present that involved payments or a banking system, you can be sure that it will have some sort of ripple effect in the future. And I still think Ripple is going to be a huge deal all over the globe. The XRP community will prosper. Indeed, that is the crux of the matter. Whatever the outcome of the SEC case, we will still succeed in the long run because the rest of the world will continue to implement this technology. They are trapped and cannot turn to any other course of action. SWIFT is considered antiquated and dated in most countries. They can rule out that possibility right away. They are looking for an upgrade, a new experience, something fresh and exciting. As such, they have decided to use XRP and that model with RippleNet in the future. But I wanted to emphasize today the way things are consolidating, and that seems to be a trend in this country, and it began a long time ago, when the big box stores came and pushed out all the little guys all around the country, little stores closing up now. It looks like they are going to do the same thing with banks. They will use crypto to accomplish this later. Give me your thoughts on the matter. That's just my guess. If you have a better one, let me know in the comments. That seems to be what's happening behind the scenes. And I'm still of the opinion that SVB demise was preordained. I continue to think it has something to do with the World Economic Forum's Great Reset initiative. And that's why I've decided to make another video for the blog today. Give it some thought, though. As a final note, I appreciate your attention and am grateful to you for tuning in. To everyone who has watched one of my videos, thank you. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.